Hey, Dean here. On the Weber today between Echo and Rockport Reservoir. Going to try a place I've never been on before. Found a little entry here that gets me back into the river. You can hear the traffic noise. I'm pretty close to the freeway. I'm going to start today with golden stonefly nymph and a pheasant tail and see what happens with those. Give it my best shot with nymphs. See if anything is coming up. It is early April. It is overcast. Temperature is nice. It's probably about 45 degrees right now. So follow me along the river and see what I can catch. Here's the first spot on the river where I started fishing. In this little hole right here, the second cast, I hooked a pretty big fish. Must have hooked him on the pheasant tail because it's a size 20, and he was on for, probably 10 or 15 seconds and popped off. I never did get a chance to get my camera out. I guess that's the beauty of having a GoPro. Anyway, I'll have to try and see if I can get one of those one of these days. But here's the part of the river that I'm fishing. It's beautiful. There's a ton of case caddis in here. Every time I hit bottom, I'm bringing up nothing but case caddis. Don't know if this is visible, but here's a case caddis that's in this river. This one's still got the caddis in it. He came up on one of my flies, so that's the food in the river right now. Hooked up a fish. This is that same hole. Switched over to a beaded pheasant tail and a red nymph, red squirrel nymph, little caddis nymph. Anyway, picked this guy up. I'll let him go, and might have hooked him on the tail. So anyway, going to let him go and see what else I can catch. It's just drifting a nymph right through here under these willows, and I hooked a really big fish. It looked like a rainbow, actually. Never got him quite to the top, but he was a big fish. I would guess probably 17, 18 inches. Just give you an idea where it's at, just drifting it under there with a little red fox squirrel nymph, bead-headed. I'd like to show him to you, but he broke my line, took my fly. Just to show you what I picked up. Got another fish. This one's a whitefish. He's pretty big. I've been hooking them up pretty good with this little caddis imitation bead head. I'll put it on the I'll put it on when I show the put this movie together. I'll show you the fly I've been picking it all up on. This is the little fox squirrel nymph that seemed to be working well on the Weber, size 18. It's got a little hare's mask tail. You can see the abdomen is, in this case it's tan. Usually I'll use the, Dave Whitlock has some red abdomen. That's normally what I use. I burnt all those flies up on fish, so I don't have one of those to show you right now. And then it's got a thorax of red squirrel, and then a gold bead, a little gold ribbing on it, and they work really well. They'll catch fish just about anywhere you go, especially as you get into the summer. Picked up another fish in here. Picked up probably 5 or 6 fish in this little run so far. Everything whitefish except for one brown. I think this is another whitefish. Anyway, I'll let the camera go and bring this one in and see if we can catch some brown trout. Just pulled this rock up just before I got to a riffle here. You can see this was the part of the rock that was facing up current. You can see how many many case caddis are sitting on this thing. It's a ton of them. Anyway, certainly a caddis river here on the Weber. Just was getting ready to switch flies, and threw it behind this little riffle right here, and picked up a Picked up a fish right here. Anyway, picked him up on that little red fox squirrel nymph, bead-headed. As my buddy Galen at the Blue Ribbon Fish Carvers calls it, his fuzzy nymph. Anyway, let him go and see if we can catch some brown trout here. Show you this awesome spot that I'm at here on the Weaver. You can still hear the freeway a little bit, but you can see this nice run right here with a deeper hole, little riffle there, coming down to that part of the river. So it's really a pretty place. Nobody else is fishing here. So I've got it all to myself. I'm a pretty lucky guy. I have another fish here. He took a caddis, little caddis pupa, a little lime green, yellow gold bead head. Got another fish here. Kind of see him over here. I'm going to let him go. I'll just show you where I'm picking him up. I went back up to this tree again and just picked a couple up, just drifting nymphs under these branches. Got a little BB weight on it, a couple bead heads, and just drifting it through this little run here. And very effective. Some pretty amazingly cool birds that you get to see. Pretty awesome. Looks like he's got his, I'm guessing he's got his harem with him. Anyway, another neat sight along the river. 18 here, just wrapping it up on the Weber River. Here on the middle portion, fished a little closer to Echo Reservoir today. I've never fished this stretch before. Caught a lot of fish, a lot of whitefish, 1 to 3 pounds. Nice fish, pretty chunky, but pretty sparse for the trout today. Probably ended up with over 20 fish for less than 4 hours of fishing today, so it was pretty busy. The things that worked the best today, I started off with a pheasant tail, picked one up on that, and then I switched over to a fox squirrel nymph, and a little gold bead headed on that. Picked up, I don't know how many fish, quite a few fish on that. I used a little caddis pupa with a bright green body, picked up some on that. Copper john, small copper john, picked up fish on that. Then later in the day I put on a size 16 rainbow sow bug, and that thing, picked up probably at least 10 fish off of that in short order. There was one fish that was rising today, very sporadically. When I say sporadically, I mean like coming up maybe once every 10-15 minutes. But I did manage to get him to come up to a little size 20 sparkle dun, gray, a little mayfly imitation. He came up and hit it, and I missed him. I pulled the hook too early on him, and that was the end of that. It's the only fish I saw coming up all day. There were some blue wings that came up about 1:30, but very few. So tons of midges on the river. Didn't see any fish feeding on them, but there's a lot of activity here. So come up, fish the Weber. Only saw one fisherman today. A lot different than the Provo as far as the numbers of people fishing it, and had a lot of fun. Anyway, see you next time. Love you, press. If you get a chance, try the wasabi sunflower seeds. They are addictive.